Hi, welcome to Go with Yin Yoga and your winter Yin Yoga practice that focuses on the kidney and bladder meridians. Physically, we'll focus on your inner thighs, your hips, and your back. And the intention I'm offering to you today is I am enough. And in the month of January in 2025, we explored moving into courage against fear, which is associated with the water element. And I did one where I am good enough and talked about imposter syndrome. So what is the difference between I'm good enough and I am enough? Basically, it's I am enough just as you are, just as you were born. We are all put here for a reason, and it's different for each person. This practice can be done without any props at all, but I'm going to suggest you have a bolster, some blankets, and a couple of blocks on hand just to make yourself comfortable if you need to. This is your practice. Make it your own. And set any intention you'd like to work on for this practice right about now. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out through your mouth. We're going to begin today with a little bit of movement if you choose. If you don't want to move, then just breathe in and out through your nose, or in through your nose and out through your mouth, whatever feels right to you. Especially in wintertime, as it is in the Northern Hemisphere, a little movement before we become still can feel really good. Because we are going inward, hopefully. We are relaxing and resting more, hopefully. So we can feel a little tight because we haven't moved. Before I get into that, I'd like to read you a little quote to ponder throughout the practice. On those days when life feels overwhelming, remember that you are worthwhile. You are needed, and you are enough exactly as you are. And I do not have, that's anonymous. So if you'd like to move with me, go ahead and inhale, take your arms out to the sides, palm facing the heavens, coming up, and then cross your wrists and cross around your elbows. Then cross down by your sides and begin again. See if you can make this flow like water. Moving slowly. This also helps to get your energies to cross over, which is exactly what they're supposed to do. One last time. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, arms gently wave back and forth in front of your body. And take one hand to your surface and inhale the other arm up and over. Maybe looking up a little bit, bending the elbow of the arm that's not reaching. Inhale, both arms meet in the middle, and then the other arm comes up and over, and you look up towards those heavens. And a couple more times on your own. Inhale, arm comes up. Sorry, bandit. Looking towards the heavens. Exhale, that arm comes down, other arm floats up, elbow bends, reaching, and looking for the heavens. One last time. Try not to disturb bandit this time. He's disturbed. And then let both arms come down. And allow your spine to really lengthen up, making space between each and every vertebrae. Maybe your shoulder blades come together just a little bit. I'm going to take one hand across our throat, the other to the other side. And we're going to move one hand up, one hand down. We're opening the throat. Going across. Actually opens up the chakras, getting them balanced. And inhale, bring your arms out. Then in towards your body, maybe moving your body forward, back, and forward, and back. This is where I will suggest you may want to sit up on something, maybe a pillow, some blankets. I have to move back a little bit because bandits right there. And coming into a nice straight back. Both legs are coming out from your hips, pointing straight ahead. Inhale, exhale. Take your arms by your legs and allow yourself to move a little forward. Your choice whether the spine is straight or the spine rounds. And then begin to move a little bit more forward. Just moving to find your edge in caterpillar pose today. You can always take a strap or blanket or bathrobe belt, wrap it around your feet if this feels very uncomfortable to you, and if your knees are bent, that is perfectly okay. You may even want to put something underneath those bent knees to relax your lower back. And sitting up on a block or some blankets, as I said, that could also be very helpful. Maybe you walk forward a little bit deeper, or maybe you need to come out of the pose a little bit, finding your edge in caterpillar pose today. It may look very different from yesterday, and it could be very different tomorrow. I am enough. Last couple of breaths here. And then take the palms to your mat. Slowly walk them back towards your torso until you're upright, and then a little bit behind your hips. Allowing your heart to open. Feeling the breath flowing throughout your body. Noticing any sensations in your body. And then slowly pushing into the palms of your hands, coming upright once again. Go ahead and bend one knee out to the side. Really doesn't matter which. We're going to do both sides. We're coming into a half butterfly. You can also take your foot, the sole of your foot, and put it against the thigh of the straight leg. But if that feels like too much, you can just bring it right on top, because we're targeting our inner thighs, a little bit of our groin. And you can stand up straight. And if you choose, you can take one finger and put it about between your second and third toes, where the mound of your foot ends, goes into the arch. And you can take another finger, I'm going to change my fingers, and press onto the inside bottom of your big toe. By doing this, you're stimulating kidney meridian, as well as your liver meridian. It's kidney 1 and liver 1 points. And maybe come forward a little, or stay with a straight back. Come forward a little bit. Notice how that changes the sensation in your body. And the last couple of breaths here. Go ahead and straighten the bent leg. Put it straight out in front of you and just pause before we move on to the second side. And go ahead and bend the opposite leg. Either take the sole of the foot to your inner thigh of the straight leg, or take it on top of the thigh of your straight leg. And if you took the acupressure points on the first side, you may want to do them on this side. I am enough. Maybe you want to say, I am enough today. Maybe you don't really quite believe that you are enough, and that's okay. It's pretty common. So if we tell ourselves a positive affirmation and we really don't believe it, it's definitely not going to work. But sometimes you just have to change it to something that you do believe. Maybe come forward a little bit. Last couple of breaths here. And then straighten the bent leg. Pause. And then go ahead and turn to face the long end of your mat. And take both legs out to the side. So the coming out, pointing towards the ends of your mat or your bed. This is a place where it can really feel nice to be sitting up on a block. I just chose not to today so that you could see this practice without any props at all, that it could be done without props. And actually, before we get into this, let's do a little counterpose for those half butterflies. And allow your legs to fall. Take them about a little bit further than hip width apart. And allow the knees to fall from one side to the other. Releasing any tension that might have worked into your low back. And then you can, it's another option, I showed this recently, you can start out with knees bent and soles of the feet on your mat. Knees can certainly be bent. You can always put a little rolled up towel underneath them to make it comfortable. Sitting up on a bolster or block or some blankets can also be very comfortable. This is Dragonfly pose, but I'm going to invite you to turn your body towards your right leg and go ahead and grab onto wherever you can. Maybe that's your thigh. Then inhale your arm up and over and see how close you can get to your foot. In my case, you can see that's not very close. You can also wrap a strap around your foot and hold on to one end of the strap. We're just opening up the side body a little bit here. We're getting into those inner thighs and a little bit into the groin. Maybe you want to look up under that arm again, looking up at the heavens. Maybe you want to put a block under this elbow. And go ahead and prop that up a little bit. Maybe even taking your hand to your ear, allowing your head to relax into that hand. And if all of that seems too much, you can also just turn to your foot. And that may feel a bit more accessible today. And the last couple of breaths here. Inhale, that top arm comes up, pausing in the middle, and going ahead to the second side. I'm going to start with my arm down to begin with. Notice your breath as it becomes short and choppy. I was noticing that on the first side for myself, quite frankly. That's a signal you've gone a little too deep into your pose. Maybe now you want to inhale the arm up and over. Maybe looking up towards the heavens. I am enough. Last couple of breaths here. Slowly reach with that top arm. Coming upright. Take one leg back towards center and then the other. Hands behind the hips. Once again, open up the heart. Little back bend, releasing tension. Notice the energy flowing all throughout your body. And then slowly allow your head to come down. Turn so you're facing the short ends of your mat. I'm going to sit facing you, moving into Savasana. You can allow the practice that you've done today to integrate into your body so you can take the feeling you have right now into the rest of your day. And so come into whichever Savasana position feels right to you. Close your eyes if it feels safe and comfortable. Take your attention back to the intention you set at the beginning of this practice. And I offered to you physically hips, inner thighs, a little bit of groin, and low back. I offered the affirmation, I am enough. That you are enough, just the way you are. And I will read the quote that I read in the beginning again. On those days when life feels overwhelming, remember that you are worthwhile. You are needed and you are enough exactly as you are. And allow yourself to relax into Shavasana until you hear me speak again. Stay in Savasana as long as it feels right to you. But if you do have to move into the rest of your day, allow your breath to deepen. Feel everywhere on your body that is touching the surface below you. Feeling held, feeling safe, feeling secure. Begin to take any small movements you need to bring yourself back into this moment, right here, right now. Wiggling fingers and toes, moving the head gently. And as you're ready, go ahead and make your way to an easy seated position. Inhale your arms up. Palms of the hands come together, bringing some balance into your life. Balance between movement and stillness, between yin and yang, between darkness and light. Slightly bowing your head over your hands. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be free from pain and suffering. And may you always feel that you are enough just as you are. Go ahead and blink your eyes open. Taking in your mat or bed, whatever surface you're on, allowing your hands to fall to your lap and raising your head, I hope, with a smile on your face. And don't forget to like this video. And I have a couple more things we're going to do before we close out. They're totally optional. You're free to move into the rest of your day. But as we have been with all our practices this month, we're going to, or if you choose to, you can do the Abhaya Mudra. Very, very simple. Raise your right hand. On the screen, it's going to look like I have my left hand raised, but it's my right arm. Palm faces out. Other hand just rests in your lap or on a knee. Closing your eyes if that feels right. Breathing deeply in and out through your nose. This is a gesture that can help you to move fearlessly through your life. Remember, this mudra is something you can return to throughout your day for, a minute, 2 minutes. Go ahead and let that hand fall back. Find your navel and then just take your hands around to your back and begin rubbing. And this is also going to help your kidney meridian run strong, which we need in the winter. Kidneys are associated with the water element, and they tend to get very weak during our winter time. And you can also move it up and down. You can move it in circles, whatever feels right to you. This area also likes to feel very warm, especially in winter. So walking around in a cropped shirt may not be the best idea if you live in a place like I do that is quite cold in winter. And I'm also going to suggest one last thing. And you can move your hands up a little bit. You're moving up the bladder meridian. This is a sister meridian to the kidney meridian. You can let that go or you can continue. I'm also going to suggest, if you don't feel like you are enough, I have a poem I am going to suggest that you look up. It's by one of my favorite authors of poetry, and I'm not big on poetry actually, Donna Ashworth. You may or may not have heard of her. I've used her poems often in practices, although not recently. The poem has a very simple title. I'm sure you can remember it. You. That is the name. Put that into Google. You're going to find it. My sister turned 70 this week, and quite a few members of our family, we have a small family, but the immediate family, my brother, my sister, my mother, who, as you know, is quite elderly, and her husband and a niece, we all gathered to celebrate that milestone. And I know that my sister often feels like she doesn't do enough. I know she does, and she does a lot. So I found that poem by Donna Ashworth, and I hand-lettered it on a card, and I painted something for her on the other side, and she was really, really touched by it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted her to know that she does a lot. She is good enough. She is loved. And she was really touched by it. So anyway, look that up if you feel like maybe you are not enough. And if you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the bell. All right, about now, there's going to be a couple of practices. I haven't handpicked them yet, so I don't know what they're going to be. Maybe a talk, maybe a meditation, probably relatively short. You can add those on to your practice. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and that you go throughout the rest of your day feeling that you are enough.